100,000 views.
Yeah, today's November 11th.
This is
2021.
'93.
Yeah.
When we all cool.
Right.
We all chilling.
Right.
We on the West Coast. Tupac brought Biggie with him. We rocking. We let Cub get down with us. We go in the back, smoke, chill, hang out. It's beautiful.
When did it go sideways?
Once Pac got shot.
It's rare to witness a moment where two legends quietly alter the course of each other's lives. But that's exactly what happened when Maya Angelou crossed paths with Tupac Shakur on the set of Poetic Justice.
You did that with Tupac, when Tupac was a bit out of what is in his own space on Poetic Justice. You pulled him aside and you instructed him.
Tensions were high, and Pac wasn't exactly in the mood for gentle wisdom until Maya said something that froze the room.
He was into a big row with another young man. And so I said to him, may I speak to you? And he was cursing. Whew, I wouldn't give a... I said, I understand that, but let me speak to you. If these mother... I said, I got you. However, let me speak to you. And finally, I said, when was the last time anyone told you how important you are? Did you know our people stood on auction blocks, were sold, bought and sold? Did you know, so that you could stay alive today? And finally, he heard me and stopped talking and started to weep. And I put my arms around him and I walked him back into the arena and he quieted. And I went back to my trailer and Janet Jackson came running and she said, Dr. Angelou, I don't believe you actually spoke to Tupac Shakur. So I said, darling, I don't know six-pack.
Mike Tyson has faced off with the fiercest men in the ring, but one of the most unforgettable forces he ever met wasn't a fighter at all.
Magic Johnson was having a party at the Palladium here on Sunday.
At least not in the traditional sense. Tyson once admitted he didn't even know who Tupac was when they first met.
And I said, I told my friend, let him in, man. Come on, man. Let this guy in. And he said, come on in. And the guy said, oh, excuse me? And he went back and he brought like 200 guys with him. Ooh. So we had to bring him around the back, and Tupac was one of those guys. And so I come in, and Tupac's on the mic. These guys done bullied the place, took the mic, and Tupac's rocking on the mic. And the whole place is going crazy. They're loving it, right? And then I met him. We were talking, just a young, shy kid.
Brushing him off without a second thought. But fate had other plans. Years later, behind prison walls, their paths crossed again. Only this time, Mike knew exactly who Pac was. What started as a strange reunion turned into an unlikely friendship built on pain, fame, and raw honesty. What they shared inside those walls? It's something Tyson still talks about with a mix of regret and reverence.
Now, tell me one of your most fondest memories of Tupac, please.
Him coming to visit me in prison.
Gotcha.
And he's talking, and he's so excited, he's so animated. And then, all of a sudden, we're outside, he jumps on the table, and I'm like, and the cop and the guards are looking at him, I'm like, come down. I say, get down from there. Come here. Stop. Come down now. And he's on the table, I say, and what's wrong? I said, come down, please, get down. And so he got down, and the guard was getting ready to come out, and then the guard went back, and I'm like, what the fuck? You know, he was like...
The night Tupac Shakur was shot in Las Vegas, he was there for one reason: Mike Tyson. Fresh off Tyson's knockout victory, the two shared a moment of celebration that would tragically become their last. Tyson later admitted he begged Tupac to come, thinking it would lift both their spirits. But when the bullets rang out just hours later, that invitation became a haunting memory. To this day, Iron Mike says he still carries the weight of that night.
What's the story behind that iconic photo of you and Tupac?
Oh, wow.
Because people don't think this is real.
Really?
There's a lot of people that think this is either photoshopped or maybe AI. They don't.
AI wasn't around.
He said their meeting was brief but meaningful.
It was around, man, like every year I would go around. It lasts for like a good 3 months. And I would meet Tupac. He would be there at the Jack the Rapper convention. And it was just him, easy. Like it would be so many celebrities there. It's almost like it was the WrestleMania of the record industry.
Pac treated him like a peer, not a fan. And that moment stayed with him long after he turned his life around. When Kendrick Lamar was just 8 years old, he met Tupac Shakur, a brief moment that left a lifelong imprint. Decades later, fans can't help but draw parallels between the two. The raw honesty, the poetic fury, the sense that their voices echo far beyond the music. That comparison hit a whole new level during Kendrick's surprise Pop Out performance in LA, where rival gang members, Bloods, Crips, and everything in between, stood unified in a space that should have been impossible. The energy felt familiar, almost ancestral. Some say Kendrick's not just inspired by Pac. He might be continuing something Pac never got to finish. When DMX spoke about meeting Tupac, it wasn't some flashy red carpet moment. It was casual, raw, almost too normal for two future legends. But what shocked fans most wasn't that they met. It was what DMX said afterward.
Definitely. I was around 8 years old. They were shooting a video in my neighborhood in Compton. My father seen him, went 2 blocks down, got me. By the time he got me, everybody was out there. It was like pandemonium, you know. He put me on his shoulders, and there he was, Dr. Dre and Tupac right there, and I think it was a white Bentley. Yep, they were shooting a video, and that moment right there, whether I know it or not, subconsciously, I think it, you know, eventually branched me off to what I'm doing now.
Despite their similar reputations for intensity and pain-driven lyrics, X admitted Pac wasn't what he expected. And he meant that in the best way.
I actually had a chance to see Pac.
Oh, word?
Walking. He said,
I never met Pac.
He said, oh my God. It's on Hammond Way off Sunset in LA.
Okay.
That hotel.
Okay.
And I saw him. He was a cool dude. Cool. He seemed cool.
Now, what year was this? You remember year?
I say like 96.
Oh, wow. Wow, you met real Pac.
Yeah.
That's right before he died.
Walking by herself.
Right before
it was
97, right?
It was maybe 95. Maybe 95. Dre brought us out there. Dre brought us out there. And he walked past and I seen him. My man said, what up? And I'm like, what up? What up? Cool dude in the heart. But
the parallels between them are eerie. Both fiercely spiritual, both battling demons in public and private, both lionized after death. It's almost as if they were cut from the same divine cloth, 2 firestorms destined to leave ashes and anthems behind. Janet Jackson and Tupac Shakur's relationship was a whirlwind of chemistry, tension, and unanswered questions. They lit up the screen in poetic justice, but behind the scenes, things weren't so smooth. Rumors swirled that Janet demanded Tupac take an SDT test before filming their kissing scenes, something Pac wasn't exactly thrilled about. Still, their connection was undeniable, and for a brief moment, fans believed they might have been more than co-stars. But just as quickly as they linked up, they drifted apart. To this day, some wonder if it was real, staged, or simply too much heat for Hollywood to handle.
Keeping your ear to the street. Can you give us some insight on what it was like, you know, working with Tupac on Poetic Justice? Like, you got a story with Pac that you could share with us?
The anniversary's coming up with
Pac was crazy, and I adored him so. And he was one way, I think, the way people saw him, and not to say that that wasn't him, but he was also had another side to him. He was fun and silly, and he used to call me Square all the time.
He used to call you a square?
Square, what's up, Square? But
because you weren't participating in the
foolishness.
The foolishness.
It's because I guess because I'm very quiet, I would just sit back and watch and laugh. But
Janet, the youngest of the Jackson dynasty, and Tupac, the son of a Black Panther, carried powerful legacies, making their short-lived connection feel symbolic. Almost like 2 royalty figures colliding for one iconic moment. It felt like something out of a gangster flick. Method Man steps into a smoky NYC club, and there's Tupac in the center, shirtless, glowing like he knew the whole room was watching. But the real tension? It was coming from Puff. Diddy was posted up like he was expecting a hit, paranoid eyes darting around like the walls had ears.
And I'm just like looking around at everything and I'm starting to feel the tension. Before that, I wasn't feeling the tension. I mean, the plane coming to LA, Suge was on our fucking plane.
Love.
You know what I'm saying? So it was all love. I'm in there and just tension. It just felt weird. And I remember seeing Puff come through. That's where it started for me at. Cause I remember seeing Puff come through and Puff had like 5 bodyguards with him.
And this is like one of the only times Puff ever stopped to speak to me. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, back in them
During
days,
those-
during
during
those
those
days. You know, Big was still alive,
Right.
whatever. This one of the time first stopped to speak to me and shit. So, you know, I felt a little uneasy, like, what the fuck was that about? Puff don't do that shit. I'm like, what the fuck? So I had to shake it off, and I'm sitting up in the booth, and I remember after that, it was just Cooliente. To make a long story longer, we on our way out. Lights come on at the end of the party over, lights come on, I'm blowed now. I'm like, shh. Feel a tap on my shoulder, turn around, it's Pac. Last time I ain't seen this nigga all night. I ain't know he was even in there. I turn around, Pac there, he's like, yo, wanna holler at, you know, anybody we wanna fuck with this Wu-Tang next thing I know, cameras every fucking where. So while he's saying this, I remember something, an altercation happened with RZA in Vegas, something happened with the chain, and Pac was trying to tell me, you know, if I was there, that shit would have never happened, blah, 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 blah. And I remember looking up, and Suge was like this with the cigar in his mouth, looking down at me like this. So I'm like, damn, I just want to play with this nigga. Why you looking at me crazy right now and shit, you know? So then I look at Pac, and Pac got a whole different face. His face looked like that picture before he died. That face he had.
Oh, this one.
That look. He had that look on his face and shit. You know what I mean? And I remember looking back down, and I couldn't understand anything he was saying after that because mad shit was going through my head, and I'm looking at the death row piece on his chain. Then he was like, "Yeah, we gonna all meet up," and I was like, "Yeah, you know how men do it. We're handing out."
P. Diddy had serious fears about retaliation in the 90s. He reportedly moved with extra security, changed travel plans last minute, and rarely showed up somewhere without knowing exactly who'd be there. That night, he wasn't vibing. He was surviving. Tupac's impact on the Black community was deeper than music. It was spiritual, political, and personal. He gave voice to pain that was often silenced, rage that was often criminalized, and dreams that were often dismissed. Whether through tracks like Brenda's Got a Baby or Keep Your Head Up, Pac humanized the struggles of Black life in America while refusing to sugarcoat its injustices. He made it cool to be conscious and dangerous to be silent. For many, he wasn't just an artist. He was a mirror, a megaphone, and a movement all in one.